welcome back to another episode of Friday Night Bookish Lyme. So happy to be here with you guys. I hope you brought your drink and you brought your good vibes. So of course, we're going to be discussing 7 days in June. Man, I can totally see why this has been a favorite for so many persons. All the emotions, but we're gonna get into that in a little bit. First, I want to start off by sharing my week and also hearing how your week went. So of course, I finished reading 7 days in June this week. I also read This Poison Heart and I reviewed it this week on my page. Wonderful YA novel. And to be very honest, I DNF'd her first book, the book before, which was Cinderella is Dead. I started reading that and I just couldn't connect with it, and so I did not finish it. So I was a little bit skeptical to get into This Poison Heart, but I am pleased to report that it most certainly is a favorite for me now. And I love the fact that they incorporated Greek mythology, and I am a sucker for Greek mythology. And it's really just great when we're not just hearing about the typical the typical popular gods. I like when the minor gods, the demigods, are brought to the forefront and they are given a platform to shine. So that was another plus for me. So I'm definitely 100% recommending This Poison Heart. I started reading Yinka, Where Is Your Husband? It's been laughs so far, but I haven't gotten too deep into the book yet because I had to stop to wrap up 7 days in June. I'm also almost finished reading Finlay Donovan Knocks Him Dead. And if you guys have been following me for a while, you'll know that I loved Finlay Donovan is Killing It. It's actually one of my top 5 for 2021. It was that good. I recommend everybody to read it. It was just absurdly funny. Like, a lot of it makes absolutely no sense, but it was so well done, so deliberately done, and well executed. And you know what? You guys know I'm always recommending fun, happy, light books in this pandemic, because right about now, life is super hard, super stressful. So sometimes it's okay to read something that doesn't make all that much sense, kind of like A for Aunties. And A for Aunties author is coming out with I think it's 4 Aunties and a Wedding, so I'm also looking forward to that. Let me know what you guys were reading this week. Please share in the chat what you guys have been reading this week, what you've been up to. Tell me what I missed in the 2 weeks that I haven't seen you guys. I really want to know before we get down into 7 days in June, what's been popping. Also, a little later, Nakeeta and I will be talking about the book of the month picks that came out. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about book covers and how influential book covers are in getting someone to make a purchase. So that's something we'll talk about a little bit later after we've discussed the reason why we're all here. Seriously? Hi. Yeah, well, you guys got it, guys. There you go. Another Friday with Lady Gigi coming in on the live. They missed you the last time. They missed you the last 2 weeks. Mom says hi, everyone. Everybody says, hey, mommy, big up Lady Gigi. So, as I was saying, I've been in here for hours, undisturbed. And of course, Lady Gigi is baking. She's baking a cake for my little cousin's birthday. She turns 13 tomorrow, and she's baking a marble cake, and she decides to come into her baking stash at this moment to rustle up the bags to search for some stuff. Thanks for stopping by. Everyone says hi. All right. Nakeeta, just saw that. So let me read what everyone is saying. Okay. Damian is doing the opposite of light and reading to paradise. Damien, I think you love heavy though. Brianna says, I've been reading People We Meet on Vacation with Nakeeta and Sharpie for like 2 weeks. And it's so weird when I say Brianna. Hi, Bri. Yes, guys. And guess what? I love to arrange buddy reads. So if you're reading a book and you want to know if there's anybody else who is reading a specific book, you can always let me know and I can find out from the fairy gang who's reading what, and definitely connect everybody. Nakeeta says she's reading The Mountain Sing for Femi's Book Club tomorrow. I hope you finished it, Nakeeta. And also doing the body read with Bri and Sharpie, People We Meet on Vacation. Miss Tari says, I just finished The Reluctant King and still working on Black Bottom Saints. I haven't heard of The Reluctant King, but I have been seeing Black Bottom Saints floating all over Bookstagram. So we definitely need to have a conversation so you can tell me more about what that book is about. Kenya says, I can only do one book at a time, lol. So just been reading 7 days, and that's perfectly fine. Angie, currently admissions, Empire of Pain, or Violent Ends, and rereading a few stories from the Office of Historical Corrections. The Office of Historical Corrections is a book that I've been wanting to read from last year. I've had it on my wish list forever, and I've wanted to read it. And then Diana Thorburn also gave a spectacular review of that, and wow, everybody's just calling. Here is Daddy calling me right now. Can't do that. Yeah, so I definitely want to read Office of Historical Corrections. I've heard so many good things about it. Kenya, it's totally okay to be to only be able to read one book at a time. Many of us are poly readers. I am a poly reader only because I did my first degree in literatures in English, and having to do several books in a course has definitely forced me to, have to be juggling several books at once. Christine, I read How the One-Armed Sister Sweeps Her House and The Bread the Devil. Listen now, okay, TBTDK. And HTOASS. We actually had the author, for those of you who weren't on with us last week, we actually had the author for How the One-Armed Sister Sweeps Her House on, not last week, week before last, on our last Friday Night Bookish Lyme Buddy Read meeting, and we had such a fantastic conversation about that. I'm actually going to be doing another little series. I won't say what. So when I do come out with the YouTube, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Is that what the YouTubers say? Click the link, like and subscribe, share, and subscribe. Yeah. So we're working on it, and we should have it out this weekend. So just bear with us. We were on the plantation all week, as Nakeeta. Okay, and we're gonna have it for you guys. So thank you so much for being patient with us. Tanya, welcome, girl. I just finished reading White Lines.
Hi, I'm Shan. Hi, Shan.
Hi, who is talking?
Annalicia.
Annalicia, hi, girl.
Yes, I'm curious to know if there's anything special happening in February, because I see everybody, like all book clubs and stuff like that, posting. They're chatting with a bunch of people and doing special lives and stuff like that. What are we doing?
Okay, well.
Since you mentioned the YouTube, I figured I'll just ask.
I'm gonna share with you guys, since this is hashtag Fairy Gang and we're our little club in here. February is fun pack. On the 4th of February, we'll be interviewing Celeste Mohammed. So for those of you who have read Pleasant View, we'll be doing an author chat with her. And if you haven't already read it, that's also fine, because we won't be deconstructing the book. We'll really just be getting to know her. As you know, with the author chats, we do the hot seat, we do 2 truths and a lie. So, and Pleasant View has been one of those Caribbean reads from 2021 that garnered quite a bit of attention and has really just been taken over. And you know, the other Trini authors, they really throw it down, and Celeste certainly did that. So if you loved, or Here Comes the Sun discussion, if you loved that book, Pleasant View is like the Trinidad version. So, and then on the 25th, we will do our What Storm, What Thunder Buddy Read. And Miriam Chansey herself will be stopping in to join the discussion. So guys, drop some fairies in the chat if you think our February Friday Night Bookish Lyme Club is gonna be lit. Because trust, you know I was not going to keep it simple for you guys. All right, let's see those fairies. Let's see those fairies. And Anna, is that okay? Do you think that's sufficient?
Yes, I think so. And can you imagine? So on Tuesday, I wanted to stop in this other book club to listen to the author for Black Buck, and I got so caught up in Cindy's chat that I completely forgot to swap. And oh my gosh, it's awesome that you're bringing him here. So yes, I love it. I love it.
All right, let me see if I can just catch back up, and then we're gonna get into 7 days in June. I'm gonna read a part that I loved, and it was so hard to choose which part to read to you guys today, because I just loved so many different parts of the book. And Shane, I wanted to just, I don't know how you guys felt about Shane, but reading 7 days in June. Oh, and before I get into that, yes, I saw where Kenzie did the movie cast, and it was really, she knows which one was my pick. She knows the duo that I was like, yeah, this is it for me. Can we drop some fairies for the persons who are here with us for the first time? If you're joining us for the first time, can you just do a quick introduction so everyone knows who you are, and tell us your handle? So if there's anyone who's interested in following you, they know where to find you.
Hi everyone, I'll go first. I'm a regular, Annalicia, Pages Escape. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, Annalisa has cleared the air for all the nervous people. Kenya, I see you look like you're ready.
Hi. Yeah, my cheeks are already pink from my wine. So the lighting here is like making me really pink.
Oh, but the lighting is hitting. It's like making you look so cute and rosy. Kenya, everybody say hi to Kenya.
Hi everyone.
Kenya, so yeah, my sweethearts from Bookstagram as well. So Kenya, just introduce yourself real quick.
Sure. So I'm Kenya. My handle is Kenya's Bookshelf. I've been on Bookstagram maybe like over a year, I think, and I've been loving it. You all are so friendly, and I'm so happy to be part of that community. What else? I'm in New York, so New York City, Queens to be exact. And yeah, this is my first time here. I don't know what else to say.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Thanks, Kenya. We're sending.
No, thank you.
Miss Tari, welcome. I'm so glad you made it.
Hi. Look, I found you because I follow Cherie Jones. I read the One Armed Sister Sweeps Her Floor. last year in Barbados, and we actually met her. It was such a thrill. So I found you through following her. So glad to be here.
We are so happy to have you. Sending you lots of fairies.
Thank you.
Wow, I realize everybody that's coming on, everybody's skin is looking so good. Yo, my team is glowing. Tanya, Angie, Tina, everybody whose camera is on is just looking so beautiful. Guys, if I don't tell you guys enough, you guys are beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on a Friday and bringing your good ass vibes. Thank you. Thank you very, very, very much. Y'all look great. All right. Nakeeta is a vibe. Nakeeta, you hear that? You're a vibe, boo. Angie said Kenya's most recent IG post is lit. Yeah, guys, go follow Kenya. And feel free to follow each other if you aren't already following each other. All right, now let me read. Are you ready? There were so many scenes that were really, really, really good. But I loved the moment when Shane got to the event and Cece called him up. And Eva lost it. And when he started to adore her and she realized that, no, Brianna, I made sure to choose an early part of the book to read. So if there's anybody who didn't get to finish, but Brie, I can't promise you that. No, as I was saying, when she realized that he had read every one of her books. Just take me, please. Just take me. Oh, I was in the spirit when she dropped that mic. I think my heart dropped with it. Anywho. So, age had made the skin around his eyes crinklier. Eva had forgotten about the scar snaking across his nose. He had scars everywhere. Once, while he was sleeping, she'd counted them all, traced them with her mouth, and then named them like constellations. Perfect jeans, rugged boots, expensive watch, sinewy lanky build, 2-day stubble, simple white tee. Could have been Hanes or Helmut Lang. F him. Sorry, guys, I don't curse. It was exactly what she wished she were wearing. How am I going to survive this? A blonde journalist Eva recognized from Publishers Weekly raised her hand. Cece nodded in her direction. Speaking of 8, started the blonde, you've gotten some flack for writing exclusively from a female point of view. Is that fair? As a man, do you feel qualified to speak from a feminine place? At this point, Eva, Belinda, and Khalil were effectively backburnered. Shane chewed his bottom lip and stared into his mic, like it held the answers to every mystery. I guess I don't think a lot about whether or not I'm qualified to do things, I just do them. But it's a ballsy move as a man to explore young female angst in such an intimate way. I don't think I'm exploring female angst. I'm just writing a character who has angst. He rubbed his hands on his jeans, looking deeply uncomfortable. Novelists should stretch beyond their experience, right? If I can't adequately manage a female voice, then I'm probably in the wrong profession and should revise my LinkedIn. Oh, do you have LinkedIn? No, he said, his eyes playful. To Cece, he whispered, Told you I was bad at this. And in that moment, whatever was holding Eva together snapped. Suddenly, she was volcanically offended by his existence. She'd worked herself into a frenzy prepping for this event, running lines with Audrey and squeezing into this dress, but Shane was allowed to be exactly himself. His whole career, he'd done whatever the hell he'd wanted, evading interviewers, dropping off the face of the planet, sleepwalking through events Eva would kill to be invited to, and generally been awarded for bad behavior in a way that, in the history of creative pursuits, no female artist had ever been indulged. Women didn't get to be bad boys. I don't think so. I just do. Shane made it all look so easy. Everything Eva did was so effortful. And the worst part, this was supposed to be her moment to prove that she was a legitimate author, a force to be reckoned with. And it was shot to hell the second the one who mattered showed up. Was this even her real life or a Mona Scott Young production? For all these reasons, as well as the older, darker ones, she had to say something. I hear what the reporter's saying, started Eva slowly to quell the tremble in her voice. You're co-opting an experience you know nothing about. It's troubled. She self-harms. She's suicidal, and you idolize it, making her this adorable, sad chick. Depression isn't a catastrophe of a girl weeping a single pretty tear while gazing out of rain-streaked windows and dropping one-liners. Depression is tragic. It is tragic. And a male writer romanticizing female mental illness is inappropriate. You're right, Shane said. He scratched his jaw slowly, thinking, and then dragged his eyes over to Eva. For the first time, she met his gaze, which was a mistake. The air had gotten thick. They both blinked once, twice, and then continued to stare at one another, not stare, gawk, with such single-minded focus that the crowd was forgotten. The event was forgotten. Belinda and Khalil sat between them, looking back and forth like they were in the stands at Wimbledon. Cece's eyes grew to anime proportions. What were they witnessing? It's true. I'm not a woman, started Shane. Oh, Jesus. People. Oh, God. Sorry. Come again. This is how I was reading the entire book. Like, I had goosebumps, guys. This book was so good. Oh, romance. It's true, I'm not a woman, started Shane. Exactly. And you're not a vampire or a man. Bloop, muttered Belinda. And yet, Sebastian, he's one of the most vivid, true portrayals of masculinity I've ever read, especially in the 3rd and 5th books. Sebastian literally and figuratively sucks the life out of everything around him, and he'll drain Gia one day too. He knows he will, but he can't stop himself from loving her. Maybe it's because he knows that in the end she'll survive him. He knows Gia's tougher than him. By virtue of being a woman, she's stronger. Girls are given the weight of the world, but nowhere to put it down. The power and magic born in that struggle, it's so terrifying to men that we invented reasons to burn y'all at the stake just to keep our dicks hard. He paused. You made Gia's magic broom 10 times stronger than Sebastian's fangs. Which trumps monster? Tells me everything I need to know about why men are scared of women. Eva was too stunned to breathe, like myself here when I was reading it. Against her better judgment, her eyes locked with Shane's again. Whatever he saw there made him hesitate for a moment, but then he kept going. You're not a man, he continued, but you write the F out of ambivalent masculinity. You're not a man, and it doesn't matter because you write with sharpened senses and notice the unnoticed, and your creative intuition so powerful you can rock any narrative to sleep. You see, and you write. With AIDS, I do the same thing. He eyed her with an unmistakable familiarity. I'm just not as good as you. Belinda leaned over to Khalil and whispered, you want to reopen the fluff conversation? Are you good? Eva's jaw went a little slack. Light-headed, she nodded in slow motion. She would not let him see how thunderstruck she was. And she refused to let him have the last word. Well, she managed, that was quite the interpretation. It was quite the read, he said, his voice low. Yours, too. Appreciate it. Then Eva finally tore her eyes away from Shane, and only then did he seem to remember that he was in public and let out a small breath. The audience was loud in its utter silence. No one spoke. Everyone was transfixed. In over a decade of authordom, Shane Hall had barely spoken 5 comprehensible sentences to the public. And suddenly he was here in person delivering a clear-eyed feminist monologue about Eva Mercy. It was so thrillingly random, and curiously, unmistakably charged. Hardly anyone in the audience had read the Curse series before tonight, and now they couldn't get on their Amazon apps fast enough. Eva forgot about the audience. It was just her up there, traced in the spaces between Shane's words, the things he didn't say. Wow, I could go on and on and on and on, but I won't, because, yeah, Belinda was everything. Okay, so before I get into how much I loved how Tia Williams gave the supporting characters such dimension as well, that they enhanced the main characters. It's like everyone, all the pieces of the puzzle, you know, really fit together. But I'm going to open the floor first. If anyone has anything they want to say, any question to start a discussion. I have a few points myself, but just raise your hand. Just use the hand thing. Remember, you know, go to reactions and raise hand. And oh dear, yes. Oh, Angie says cheers. Oh, everybody with the wine. Yeah, guys, I know I said I was gonna do wine, but I've been drinking water. I haven't been drinking enough water, and I feel like, wow, I needed so much water while reading this book. Okay, no one has any questions. No one has anything to say. Renee is here, guys. Renee, I missed you so much. Thank you, Angie. You know, I look forward to in my mind, I am an audiobook narrator, you know, in my mind. So Tanya says, my favorite part was when they told each other to stop writing books about each other. Listen, thank you, Angie. I claim it too. Listen, first of all, I love how the book just got right into it. We got a little backstory, not too long, of Eva and Shane, right? We got a little backstory. We got some context about their lives, their present day lives. And then bam, Shane comes in, and Shane was just basically saying, I've been in love with you forever, and I've been stalking you through your books. And I love the fact that there was this angle of writers, and here they are expressing themselves to each other through their characters. Oh my God. Listen, I also love the fact that this romance novel is the kind of romance novel that is palatable to everyone. It's not too cheesy. Not saying that anything is wrong with cheesy romance. Sometimes we need it. But it's definitely that hybrid kind of novel, because there was romance. This could have also somewhat fallen under, there were moments where it could have fallen under historical fiction. You know, there are little moments where it could have been a little contemporary fiction. Like this book, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Guys, you can talk. Guys, that's what I love about the Zoom. You can actually like unmute and you can talk to me.
I just want to quickly say, I think this book was the right amount of romance for me. Like it wasn't overboard. It wasn't like not wanting more. It was like perfect. So I think that's what I loved about it.
Hold on, guys, 1 second. Hold. Who just spoke? Kenya?
Yeah, me, Kenya.
Yes. Yeah. Could you just repeat what you just said?
Sure. I was just saying that this was the right amount of romance. It wasn't overdone, and it wasn't like, ooh, like I need a little bit more. It was like perfect. So I think that's what I loved about it.
Yeah. I loved that as well. I loved that everything was balanced. It wasn't too much. It wasn't like, oh, and the sex scenes were sensual, but still had a little rubber rousing. You know, there was just enough spice, just enough steam, but still very sensual. There was, listen, guys, I read this book and I felt, I'm talking about the book, I feel like my chest. I read this book and I felt every emotion. And I felt so invested, and I felt for Shane and Eva. I was just rooting for it. I was like, if they don't work out in the end, I'm trashing this book. I'm ripping it up. From that moment when he came in and he was basically like, this is not what he said, but my interpretation of him saying, oh, and you wrote this book and blah, blah, blah. That moment when he was like, I've loved you forever. It took me back to The Notebook, which is like my favorite romance. So Kenzie's like, which is like my favorite romance of all time. 7 Days in June took me back to The Notebook. It's not over. It's never been over. Do you guys remember that scene in the rain where he went back and he was like, it's never been over. It's never been over for me. And then he went for her, and then they started to make out, and then it just started to rain, and then they went into the house and they just started to That's how I felt. That's how I felt. Let me see what you guys let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah, Keita and I actually spoke about the ending and not necessarily loving. I was a bit disappointed about the ending. I felt like it just went prop on me, and I was just like, what? Like, we're just getting into their relationship. What are you talking about? I want to know what's gonna happen next. Is Shane going to permanently move into the house, and then he's gonna be a little family with Eva and Audrey, and Audrey's gonna help him get over his pain, and he's gonna rub Eva's temples at night? Like, we want to know, how could you do this to us at the end? All right, let me see. Anybody have any negative views on it? Because people are saying it's not lit like how I think it is. Oh, I don't know anybody. Tanya, did you do a reel about 7 Days in June?
Yes, I did, because people are trying it on Instagram. Let me tell you, okay? Anybody who said they didn't like the book is muted on Instagram. Don't you expect Tia Williams like that, because what are you doing? What's not to like? I'm not understanding. Okay.
Listen, let me tell you something. With regards to, sometimes Tanya posts stuff and I'm like, yo, this girl she don't care. But when you posted that about 7 Days in June, I was secretly like, boy, I'm gonna have to agree with her on this one. And I mean, people have their opinions, but I don't really understand how anyone disliked this book. And Christine, go ahead. Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, I'm actually a Nicholas Sparks fan. I have every single Nicholas Sparks book. That's how fangirl I am. And trust me, your comparison with the notebook was right up there. I actually have is a long I can't remember reading a romance novel that was so captivating to me. I started reading it and I had to put it down to read my other book club take. And trust
Right.
me, like off the room on the dresser, and every single night I'm looking at the book like I want to know. The only disappointment I had was like you said, I wanted to know more of what happened in the end. I think the end was a little, and I was like, nah, your girl need to know what went on. I need to know what's happening. It can't end
Exactly.
like this.
Exactly. Oh, Shayla said, I think the book dragged at parts, to be honest. Did anybody else feel that way? It's quite possible that it did drag at some parts. But I found that, and that's how you know that this was a very good book. I found that, as I said before, I was so invested in Shane and Eva's relationship, and when he left Fatai, oh, and that really made me sad. But when he left Fatai, I was like, in Jamaica we have a saying where you F the work. It basically means like you mess things up. And I was like, how did Shane F the work? Like, oh, the F, of course, you know what the F stands for, guys, but you know, I'm not going to say it because I'm a good girl. And you guys are good girls too, even if you say it. Okay, I'm rambling. So basically, I was like, what's going to happen now? Like, they're going to have to start all over. But I loved the fact that Williams made these characters so vulnerable and so open and so fragile, but not pathetic. You know, it's like you're reading the book and you're expecting that Shane is gonna mess up and then Eva is gonna shut down completely. And I was like, you know, sometimes in real life, that's not how it happens. When you really love someone and you have feelings for them, even if they hurt you again, you just might give them another chance. And I loved how that was something that the book really brought forward. Like, hey, second chances, and trying to figure out how to mend situations and how to heal and giving. Like, I love how, you know, she was like, I can't talk to you right now, and then shortly, I think it was maybe a day later, she was like, okay, I said I can't talk to you, but in essence, I love you and I'm sending you a voice note. Like, it was just so precious. Like, it was just so precious. I really, really loved that. But let's pause on Eva and Shane, and let's talk about Cece. I think Cece is a Leo, and I don't care what anybody says. She's a Leo, and you guys are going to have to come for me with that, because every time I read a book that has like big dick energy in a female, I automatically claim them and say that. So if you guys read, Angie, if you guys read Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and you know that's a fave for me as well. Evelyn Hugo was definitely a Leo, most definitely she was. So Cece, she was a vibe. Belinda was a whole vibe. Lizette was a mess. Have any of you guys ever read oh gosh, what's the name of the book? Oh my gosh, A Streetcar Named Desire. Have any of you guys ever read that book? Yeah, Nakeeta, you read it. And if you grew up in Jamaica, that's a book that, well, I read it in university. But it spoke about a mother who had a southern mother. She had a lot of gentleman callers, and her daughter, I think her daughter had a disability and wasn't able, if I recall correctly. But Lizette reminded me so much of that delusional mother who was just, expecting, living caught up in this fairy tale life. And Lizette in this book was living in her own fairy tale world. And it's not easy when you have oh, you read it, Kenya? Nice. It's not easy. Nakeeta says she's a Virgo, but she's not, and we already established that she's a Leo. Cece's a Leo, right? Yeah, no, she's not a Virgo. I'm so sorry. You're mistaken, Nakeeta, but that's okay. We'll excuse you for tonight. This is definitely a warm milk night and not a cold milk night. But we won't get into that warm milk and cold milk argument for tonight. Yes, so it's not easy being a child who has to raise herself. And I thought that Williams also used a lot of heavy elements in the book and found a way to not make the people, so let me explain or articulate myself in a better way. Many times when you read persons who have drug addictions or who have disorders like bulimia, or who have struggled with mental health issues that slit themselves or cut themselves or harm themselves, they're generally reflected in a negative light, and they're so broken. But here we saw two characters who were in these situations, but we saw them as whole individuals. Like, we were still able to see the good in them. We were still able to identify them as whole characters, as human beings with goals and with desires, and with hope and with promise. I just loved how everything was, exactly, they were flawed but genuine and able to grow. Yeah, like that sums it up perfectly, Angie. That's exactly what I loved also. Nakeeta said, I loved how Eva showed up for Audrey in ways that her foremothers didn't. I would pay money to read that book that she ends up writing on them though. And I was wondering if maybe Theo Williams left the ending like that so that we could, like almost in a cliffhanger, so that we could prepare for another book, a follow-up of the characters where Shane and Eva start their life and Eva discovers more about her background. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I want Belinda's story. I don't really want Belinda's story. Belinda, for me, is a good side character, and she just, for me, Nakeeta, I would let her stay as such. Yeah, I definitely would want to read about Eva's family as well. There was a line, guys, and if you guys want to share any face routines, let me know. Where Khalil says, when she walks into the party and everybody's saying, oh, she's glowing, Eva is glowing, and Khalil says she has the complexion of a wealthy infant. Yo, I felt that. I was like, okay, I'm going to use my hyaluronic acid tonight. I'm going to put on my face mask tomorrow. I'm going to steam my face. I would like to have the complexion of a wealthy infant. Also, if any of you guys know what the complexion of a wealthy infant looks like, please feel free to send me a picture in my DMs. But I loved it. Let me see what you guys, Nakeeta was like, I was just about to ask Lal where she ends up with the hotel. Nakeeta, unmute yourself, love, so I can hear ya.
No, saying that I want Belinda and Khalil
because that's a match that nobody sees coming.
That's true. That's they definitely had an interesting chemistry in the beginning at the forum. I would say, yeah, that's an interesting match, and I would love to see that. That would be the unexpected couple, the one that no one would ever think could possibly happen. And in many books, what you call that, romance lovers, what you call that, enemies to lovers trope. I'm learning because we have the queen of romance in here. Has anyone read her other book, The Perfect Find? No, but I have it. Do you have it, Tanya?
Yeah, I have it, and apparently they're making either a TV show or a movie about it, starring Gabrielle Union.
True. I love Gabrielle Union, but I'm tired.
Why?
I love her, don't get me wrong. I love her, and I actually love, like, I follow her on Instagram. I love her page. I love her. But come on, no, somebody else? No?
Yeah, she's the most popular for like Black actress.
I mean, right now, let me tell you how they're casting right now. It's either they're casting Gabrielle Union or Zendaya, however you pronounce her name. And that's it. It's either they're casting, what's the pronunciation, guys? Is it Zendaya? What is it? Which one is it, Kenzie?
Zendaya.
So it's either they're casting Zendaya or they're casting Gabrielle Union, and that's it. There are your options for black character at this time. Yeah, Rand, Destiny. What happened to those people? There's so many other Black girls out there who.
No, they need an older woman. The book is about like an older woman. Oh, they could have picked Taraji, but she has like she doesn't give soft vibes. I'm lying. She doesn't give like soft romantic vibes for the audience. Do you see Taraji as a romance girl? No.
Well, yeah, Angie's asking, what is the age in the book? Let's look up the book, guys. I'm gonna look up the book and tell you guys what her other book is about. So I actually,
she's 40. Not older, but she's older than the guy she's going to date.
What about, oh gosh, I suck at names. What about, oh gosh, Shakila, you took the words out of my mouth. Sana Lathan, what happened to her? I love her. By the way, did you guys watch Love and Basketball? Oh my God, this is like Love and Basketball. Did you guys read that? Did you guys watch that? Did you guys watch that book? I mean, what am I saying? Calm down. Did you guys watch that movie? Yo, I wanna be your man. Oh, every time I hear it, I have watched Love and Basketball literally at least 10 times. The Notebook, Love and Basketball, and they need to make this into a movie. They're making The Perfect Find into a movie. Why didn't they make 7 Days in June into a movie? I don't understand.
Perfect Find came first, I think.
Bree? Oh, The Perfect Find came first. Oh, okay. Bree, go, darling.
Yes. I was gonna say that I don't think anybody's going to use Sana because Hollywood blacklisted her after she beat Beyonce in the face. Did you not know this? She has not worked since.
When she met Beyonce? Oh,
like I want to say like 2 years
was
ago.
like, I'm
Is
not
this he?
No, hold on.
Guys,
Hold on.
I'm
We have to
serious, like, she has
investigate
not
that.
worked since.
Hold on. Newsroom. Can we get a confirmation on that for me, please? Can
was
we get a
this after
confirmation?
she did the movie where she shaved her head and she was like twerking and I don't know what name.
The lame black movie that she did about finding herself. Yeah, what happened?
Yes,
she bit Beyonce in the face.
Yes. It was after that. Yes.
Beyonce? Why?
Google it. I'm not kidding.
Remember that Carrie Hilson said that Beyonce wasn't all that and she lost her music career. That was the end of it. She was on a rise, and then she was like, oh, I think Beyonce is just okay. And then another song was never released.
So if I ever make it to Hollywood, don't talk about Beyonce.
You
That's
better
it.
love up Beyonce. You
Okay.
better love her up. Do not call her name. Don't even think it. Are you serious? Is this for real, real? You know, I'm going down the rabbit hole tonight now to watch that, to read that, you know.
Trust me. Real. I was going to say if Kerry Washington couldn't do a romance role, because I don't know, after Scandal, I feel like she could do something like Tanya said. No, I feel like she has the range.
She's very vulnerable. She's very versatile. What about Nia Long?
Yes. Okay.
Nia Long would be great.
Yeah, she would be perfect. Gabrielle Union.
Carrie is for like strong, like deep stuff. Like I just can't.
Yeah, Kerry and Taraji would be low on our list.
Nia has to be our Eva Mercy. We have to save
Yes,
her.
that's
for
true.
Eva.
That's so true. That's true. That is true. And I think when you had done your poll, Kenzie, I think I voted for the Nia Long. Did I vote for that one? I think that's the one where I was like, yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So if we were going to cast Kenzie, are you able to bring up like your poll? I'd love for you to share it.
I still have all the pictures saved, so my camera roll is just beautiful faces. Let me see.
I'm curious to hear who you guys would cast as Shane. Oh gosh, hold on. I'm tired of Megan. Guys, did you hear about her divorce?
Why are you tired of the girl? The girl ain't did nothing.
She just come up at the scene.
I'm always, you know what's sad? You know what's sad? Growing up, I was always kind of like Megan Good was just so perfect. I used to be like, oh, she's so perfect. It was.
I'm here for Megan. I'm here for her. After Harlem, I'm good. I'm ready to see her in something else.
It's just the weirdest thing. Okay, so Angie says Megan. And who else said Megan? Who typed Megan in the chat? Bree said, oh, wait, no, wait. Okay, Tanya said maybe Megan. Yeah. Regina Hall. Who is Regina Hall again? Which one is? No.
No. For
Bree,
Eva?
Regina? I don't think so. No. Regina's too rough. She doesn't have this. Marky, I don't know the plot. Oh no, Regina Hall. Yeah, I like her. Yeah. I was thinking somebody else. I like Regina Hall.
Okay, I found it, Shanz.
Okay, go ahead.
I picked Nia Long and then Lucien Levesque-Count for the couple. And then who are the other popular votes were Kerry Washington, Idris Elba. Someone else said...
He's a bit old though, Idris. I love him, but he's a bit old.
Agreed. Someone else said Shane, Kid Cudi.
What?
I didn't agree with that one.
Kid who? Next.
Someone said Tiana Paris, who I googled her because I didn't know who that was, and she is
and Nakeeta
so stunning. Like if you see her, you think Eva Marcy,
she looks
for
great.
sure.
She looks kind of like me. Yeah, she looks just like me, guys. Doesn't she? Like, wow, wow, girl, you look so good. You look like me.
Someone said Lakeith Stanfield for Shane.
I don't know who that is.
He's a brilliant actor.
He's toxic. We don't need him in our romance.
Get him out.
That's exactly
hold on, did anybody say the classic Tay Diggs?
No one said that.
No, nobody with that one there.
I'm so glad. I'm so happy.
Nobody with that one there. Put back that one there in the pan.
I don't want to talk about Tay Diggs, but I would not have chosen him. But Morris Chestnut. Did anybody say that?
Someone said his son. Let's see, what's his name? Grant Chestnut. Someone said him. He looks very young.
Let me see that.
He looks like a younger version of his dad.
What in heaven's name? No.
Wait, you sure you have the right Grant Chestnut or the one that they're parading on Twitter?
Yeah,
as Grant Chestnut.
I checked with the person that said it.
He looks just like him though.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, he has his.
That is not the man's son. That is some man on Twitter that they're saying is the man's son.
That's not him? He fine though.
There's this whole conversation on Twitter where it's like some random man that does
No.
look like Morris Chestnut.
Wow. So it's not him. But he looks like him. Grant Chestnut. Siblings Paige Chestnut. Parents Morris Chestnut and Pam Bice. That's him. That's on his Wikipedia. But no, he's a no. He's a no. Who else? What's happened to that
someone
cute...
said Aldous
Go.
Hodge for Shane.
I don't know any of these people.
Yeah, I had to
Is that
Google
the
him.
cute guy that I'm thinking? What's his name?
Aldis Hodge.
Hodge. Yes, I was thinking about him. Yeah, he could go. He could go. Lance. He's who I've been thinking about. Yes, what happened to Lance? Oh yeah. Okay, it's a done deal. It's Lance. It's absolutely positively Lance.
I think that's who you voted for. And when I put up the pictures, I think that's who you said.
Yes, I
was
said
Lance.
Lance. Yes, I was like, this is it. Yeah, but then Nia Long would be too old for him. So if we were gonna do Lance, the girl, the Paris girl that you guys said, definitely Eva. But based on her ancestry, Eva would not be as dark as Paris, realistically. If her family, yeah, because if her family is for Italian, she would be bronzed, but she wouldn't be as dark as Paris. So I don't know if she would, you know, unless she had a very dark father and we don't know who the father is. We need to go on Maury to see if we can find out who is the father, because we don't know. But yeah, they would have just cast Zendaya and call it a day. They would just darken her a little bit and cast her for it, because that's what they are doing now. Actually, you know, I can't believe I'm forgetting all the names. What's the name of that really cute girl in Blackish? What's her name? Yara Sahid.
Yara.
Tanya, you just know what I'm thinking. You just took it out of my head. Yeah, I would, she could have been casted, or is she too young? She might be a bit young. You know who is young but looks old and is a bit much? Chloe, from Chloe and Haley. But anyways, we won't get into that. I have no comment. In Jamaica, we would say she too force ripe. But anyways, back to the important matter. Yes, Makeda, I agree. They are the Hollywood light-skinned duo for sure, but Zendaya is being casted in everything. All right, so did anybody have anything else to say about the book? Any takeaway thoughts? Any character that you hated other than Khalil? I think it's safe to say that we all disliked him. He was just irrelevant, but he did say the complexion of a wealthy infant, and so I definitely give him a few points for that line. Yeah. Feel free to unmute, guys, if you want to say anything about Nakeeta. Yeah, we never like Lizette. We know when I finish the book next week, I come with my thoughts. Not a problem. And remember, remember, we can open the chat next week to just wrap up if anybody has anything they want to say who hasn't read it like Bree. Next Friday Night Bookish Lyme link up is February 4, and we're talking to Celeste Mohammed. Okay, guys? So remember to come on. Right. So as I said before, I was reading this Poison Heart, and the main character is young, and she finds out that she has this magical power to with plants, and she finds out that, you know, it's something hereditary, and you know, she ends up getting sent to or getting pulled to this place that she inherits, and she goes with her two moms, and she discovers more about her abilities there. And it's so nice when we have young adult characters who are just strong and know what they're about and understand themselves, and even as they are growing and discovering, they're, you know, they're making mistakes, but they're beautifully flawed, and they're still power girls, you know, doing it. And I felt the same way with Audrey. Like, yeah, she don't necessarily know where British Columbia is, and maybe the schools need to work on that, but I loved how she just understood herself. She was able to reconcile with herself when, you know, when her mom was upset with what happened in school, and, you know, she was able to be reflective, and, you know, she was adaptable. I liked that a lot. I loved Audrey as a character, and I loved the relationship between Eva and Audrey because it reminded me a lot of my relationship with Lady Gigi. And I really connected in that way because I grew up with it in my earlier years of it just being mom and I, and I was the child who was involved in everything, performing, and head of this choir, and head of this club, and have to go here and have to do this. And she definitely always made sure that I was able to be everything that I wanted to be. And so that mother-daughter dynamic was just boss. Like when she spoke about Audrey cuddling with her, I was like, I used to do that with mom. I would just run into her bed and snuggle up with her. So I really loved that too. And, you know, I loved Audrey a lot, and I loved their relationship. Yes, Kenya said like a little adult. She was like a little adult, but not in a, she was very, she was very, not in a passing her place kind of way, but, you know, in a I'm learning about the world, and I'm understanding my environment, and I'm, you know, learning about what's going on. Okay, Renee, can you WhatsApp it to me, please? Because I'm getting so distracted. I have one last question before we wrap up. Nakeeta had mentioned to me that there were some comments that we had seen online where persons felt like the book was glamorizing abuse and drugs. Did anybody feel that way? Like, because earlier I had spoken about the book showing Eva and Shane as persons who were having an addiction, but, you know, were still able to heal and to remove themselves and disconnect and detach from that whole situation, and to become holistic persons. Did anybody feel that way? Makeda, just unmute.
Didn't feel like what was toxic or anything like that, but at the end of the day, I wasn't rooting for them to get together. I felt like they were both still in such a vulnerable place as it regards to like healing. And then in my mind, they were swapping one addiction for the other. And I could only see the relationship ending, or them probably going back to the addictive stage if anything happened in the relationship. So that was just it as it regards to the relationship.
Okay. Before anyone else speaks, I didn't get to look back on the list, Nakeeta, but just ensure that butter honey pig bread makes the poll. It was a very, very close runner up to What Storm, What Thunder in our last poll. So I figured I would just bring it back because many persons, when I did my review earlier this week, really were, interested in us making it a buddy read pick. So just add it to the poll for me. Okay, anybody else had any thoughts on that? Did we feel like they glamorized abuse? And yes, Kenzie, the conversation with Audrey and Shane on the front porch was beautiful. Was really, really beautiful, and it really just solidified the relationship that Eva and Audrey have as a unit, and her basically saying, listen, you have to be nice to her, you have to be. I really like that. There were so many great takeaways from this book. She understood her mommy. Oh God, I need a mouse. Let me try using. Went right back to the top. Kenya was saying she understood her mommy. I'm trying to get back to remember that book of the month they're probably going to have Yinka as an add-on for this month. I'm hopeful for all y'all's sake, because this book so far is funny, but I did see a review this week that said it was ridiculous after a while. So I guess we will see. Let me just say thank you guys. This was such an awesome discussion on 7 days in June. And also I'm just so happy that so many of you had your cameras on. I just love to see the beautiful faces, and a hearty welcome again to our newbies in the fairy gang. Hashtag fairy gang. If you're posting anything about this Friday Night Bookish Lyme, remember that the hashtags are hashtag bookish lyme, hashtag fairy gang. And we love to see your posts, your material, and we want other people to be able to find all the posts too. So please, if you can, use the hashtag. I see a new name on here. Avia Forbes Chang. Avia, is this your first time on the line? Because I feel like it is. Hi, welcome. Come through, goodie, come through. That's the book. Hold it up so everybody can see Christine with the good up sewing. Come through. Pleasant view. Last time we were here, Christine showed us the dress that she got up the Friday morning and decided she was going to wear to the Zoom. Oh, you made something else? No, man. Put her on the spotlight there, Nakeeta, for me, please. Now we can come, Christine. The people want to see what you made this week. Oh, you make new clothes this week and you didn't tell us again.
So anything new? This was it was part of my birthday outfit that I made.
So you didn't sew that new, but you did sew that. Okay. We like to showcase the talents of our fairy gang, so we have to big up Christine. But Christine, can you hold up the book so everyone can see? That's Pleasant View. Tell us roughly how many pages. Tell me what is the last page of the actual story. So the last page.
230 pages.
230? So that's a very short book. It's an easy read, 230, and it has a lot of bacchanal and a lot of spice in it and a lot of drama, real Caribbean style. So yeah, it has been established. Thank you so much, Nakeeta. And Yinka, where is your husband? Is March's Buddy Read pick, and it's ironic because I'm actually waiting to confirm an author chat with Lizzie. Yes, I can just let it out in here since we exclusive in here. So yeah, I'm actually in the process of negotiating a date with her. So now let's see how it goes. And just to let you guys know that Miriam Chansey will be coming in next month, which is February 25, but we also have her coming in for author chats in April. So she's gonna be with us twice. So I'm super excited about that. And yeah, okay. So what time is it? 9:37. Nakeeta, make yourself present.
Welcome to Friday Night Bookish Lyme TV. Yes, yes. Now sponsored by Elmer's Glue.
I'm hiding it.
You need to like hold the label to camera.
I need to be like a YouTuber. No, that remember that Shanz's Adventures is going on YouTube now, so I have to practice. Because that's what I see the YouTubers do. They're like, all right,
Yes.
guys, so this is what I use. I apply this on my face at night. It's from Elmer's. You can get it anywhere. You can order it on Amazon, or you can get it in
Click
Walmart.
the link in my description.
Click the link in my description. And if you guys can't see it very clearly, here it is. It comes in a small bottle. It's clear.
It's so great. You know, I use it for everything. And this is not sponsored, you know.
Yeah. You have to say that this is not sponsored. I just love this product so much, and so
I never recommend anything to you that I didn't love myself.
Yeah. So, all right.
Oh my gosh. All right. Hi, Shanz. How are you today? Oh, we got that delay back. Oh no, our sound man came back and then he went on vacation, and now we have a delay again. Wow. Shanz, are you hearing us over there, roaming from Studio B?
About today.
So I know before we started this, we had a conversation about y'all know we always ragging on Book of the Month, even though they keep taking our coin.
And you guys know I am the queen. The king was here earlier, but he had to leave.
And you saw their official portrait. If you're new, don't worry, you'll see it in the video that's coming this weekend. So you'll see the unveiling of the official portrait with the king and queen. And Queen, have you been casted? I know the king told us Timothy Chalamet is gonna be his playing him.
They've been trying to cast me as Zendaya. They've been trying to cast Zendaya, to play my role.
How do you feel about that?
You know,
feel like it would just be a repeat of Dune?
Yes, I think so. And I'm just wondering how much bronzer they're gonna use to bring her down to my complexion. But this, as I told you, they're casting Zendaya for every role now. So yes.
True. But you know,
Bree says Zendaya and I look so much alike. I mean,
y'all are twins.
Definitely.
That's what's up.
Same pointed nose, same, same thin lips. We definitely have very, very similar features. Yeah.
All right, so I'm being told that my shirt looks like a pajama. You know, your family it's not your family alone. They're disrespectful. This is a Hello Kitty t-shirt. It is not a pajama. Go away.
Who tell you that?
That's my brother.
Your brother? Jeez.
Yeah.
These families, they're not working with the program. They're not working with the program at all.
Right? So disrespectful. Okay, so I have the spoilers for Book of the Month. You know what, Bree? Bree, who decided upon?
Put it up.
Look for my good t-shirt. It is not a pajama. Look for my nice Hello Kitty t-shirt. Come on.
Make them know say you ordered straight from China.
That's right, from Shein.
From Shein. Big up Shein.
Hello Kitty Shein collection. Yeah.
No, Jasmine and Shein. Boy.
No, look here. We're not. Jasmine is supposed to have COVID in isolation, miss.
Boy.
All of y'all that don't know, Jasmine is Shan's credit card who's had an intervention, and I don't know if it worked.
Jasmine has, you know what my problem with Jasmine is, Nakeeta? Jasmine is a bully.
Okay, so last week, Jasmine grew a leg and go on Amazon and buy things for herself. Oh my God, are you crying?
My problem with Jasmine is that I can't grow because she keeps ordering things and I don't know I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle it. Like, I get a call from my shipping company every week and they're like, there are things here for you to pick up, and I'm like, Jasmine, stop, please. I don't know what to do.
I think that, maybe this is the time when we need to have Jasmine come on the program and maybe have the people just have a word with her. But I have to ask you, do you think you're enabling Jasmine in any way?
No.
You answered too quickly.
No,
is that denial I hear? I'm channeling Dr. Phil now.
No, I'm trying to be the better person. I'm the one saying to Jasmine, you're almost done out. Jasmine, you cannot order any more books. Jasmine, stop going on Shein. Jasmine, do not order that new keyboard with the funny sounding tapping. Like, stop doing it. Do not go on Misguided. Come off Zara. Don't do it. I've tried.
My love, you have a full laundry list of what Jasmine been. I don't know, I feel the need for put on your foot. I see Tari saying good night. Good night,
Miss Tari. Thank you for coming. It was so nice hanging with you. Hopefully we'll see you on February 4.
I agree, Renee and Nakeeta. There's another level of intervention that needs to happen here because it's not happening. It's not happening.
I don't know what to do, and I give up on Jasmine, and I don't even want to talk about Jasmine anymore because she's depressing and I can't help her. She has to help herself.
Okay. On that note,
back to book of the month. Back to book of the month.
We've been ragging our book of the month. They've been doing well. I feel like they're official of Evan Show, because they had a solid month last month, like solid. And then this month, should I put it up now?
Put it up.
A lovely person was kind enough to share with me the sneak peek of, and I was like,
we know you're getting Vladimir.
Not. I'm sorry. Like, listen, can I give you a joke? You want a joke? So, like, when I did younger, right? Did like Sean Connery, because Tanya, because I grew up watching James Bond with my father.
Mm-hmm.
But as I got older, I'm like, I'm not sure what a chest ear or something, and him have no. Yeah, like it. Yeah. And then I said, then whoever muggle for Vladimir could leave a little wax down or something before him take the picture.
When I saw the list, I was like, who's Jackie, did I say it to you? I was like, I think you only get Vladimir.
I see them. So when you go on the app, the one they're pushing is this one with the gold rose. You see like a teaser.
Golden couple.
Golden couple. I'm like, okay. Oh, out of this photo, the two that kind of caught my attention were Peach Blossom Spring and A River Enchanted. I don't know, I'm getting Greek vibes.
I was just about to say, I'm getting Greek vibes from A River Enchanted, and that would have been naturally the one I would go with.
Well, normally you see the spoiler and you go to the Google and you're like, okay, let's see what these books are about. I didn't even do that. I'm like,
you've seen Don't Cry For Me? Andrew says, I've never seen or heard of any of these books in my life.
Same.
When I saw this list, I was like, all right, Kenya, I'm glad you said that because that's something that we want to talk about tonight. Kenya says those covers are not, and Jackie says she's skipping. The only reason
mean,
I'm not skipping is because I
skipping
really
these.
want.
I'm still gonna order something.
Well, I really want black cake.
We will see. Well, I don't know what the add-ons are as yet, but certainly I don't
Always.
I don't think
Add-ons are
I'm
always
getting
better.
anything from here. I see that Jasmine Ward blurb, don't cry for me, but me not get caught with blurbs, you know, because your girl got caught with blurbs.
Remember the blurb from Monster in the Middle?
Yes, the many blurbs. And it was
As Tanya,
so bad.
As Tanya said, it was not given what needed to be gave.
And no. But speaking of covers, because I mean, I say unapologetic, the marketing team needs to do its work. If you're gonna be putting out a book to the author, I know sometimes the authors don't really have much of a say, but boy, if you want a book sell, ultimately a book sell, everybody benefits in the publishing house and whatever.
Right.
Yeah. This Vladimir one, you know what this book remind me of? You know them early days Daniel Steele book?
Yeah. And it also reminds me of that book the other day, 365 Days. That's what it reminds me of.
You mean the book that became a movie that became the next sensation? Yeah, that, oh God, that, I mean, I'm not.
Bookstagram is going to drag them for these things. Yes. Bookstagram is going to drag them because Bookstagram is going to say February.
What happened?
Well, Don't Cry for Me is there.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm gonna get any of these. I'm just
excited
to
get
what
black
the add-ons
cake,
are.
but
I got black cake. Black cake was last month. So I got that.
It might be an add-on this month.
So, but once it came out, you can get it. So, as an add-on.
Sometimes it doesn't come back as an add-on. Like I've seen it where you go for it. Yeah.
I defer to you, my queen. But speaking of covers, I asked you what were some favorite covers of yours. And because we already know this is not it. And you shared with me these 6 books.
Yeah.
I know one of them in particular, you never really took business with the story.
I did a review on it.
Wait, you hear me say?
Hold on, Bree, what you said? Hold on, Bree, what you said? Hold on, pause, Nakeeta. Bree, what you said? What Bree just said about Kirky? What she just said about it?
I hated it. I can say it again for you.
That is like me and you and Patsy. That's like you and I just switched around. Like you're like.
So if you go and come again, I was reading Cersei like, what is the point? Where are we going? Where we go reach?
Oh no. Oh dear.
I'm sorry, but Kirky was so good. As a minor god, they really did an awesome job of showing her strength and her coming of age. I loved it.
We can agree to disagree.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we can agree to disagree because
absolutely not.
We know that you liked Patsy and if you wonder if I hate you, I do. Yeah. Honestly.
Was horrible.
Who said Patsy was horrible?
I said Cersei was horrible.
Oh, just to let you guys know, it's Kirky, my Greek friend confirmed.
Oh, yes.
Kirky.
Scribed.
Because there's no soft C in the Greek alphabet. Hello, scribed.
Scribed.
Oh God, you know, I'm not calling it scribed ever. I'm calling it scribed.
So weird.
Like who says
scribed? I'm gonna pull up the cover that you like.
Oh, you have it now? Because I was here going through my reviews.
Yeah, and I have to say thank you to the people who are shouting out production. Production, Lena, only work over here.
I wanted to ask, what's the Poison Heart? Is it some kind of fantasy?
It's a fantasy.
I'm trying to
It's a
read.
fantasy.
I'm not really into fantasy books, but I'm trying to be diverse with my reading. So I'm trying to
Well,
find a good
the good thing about this Poison Heart is that it's kind of diluted fantasy. So it doesn't have a lot, it doesn't have a heavy world building. And normally in fantasy you find that there's a lot of world building, which is what may cause some people to not like fantasy, because you can get, it's a lot to absorb. But with this Poison Heart, it's like for me a beginner's fantasy. So there's fantasy, but then it's coupled with the Greek mythology. There's also a little mystery and suspense in it. So that, I think that if you want to diversify and you want to read something that is fantasy, but that is not too deep in fantasy, I definitely think that this Poison Heart is one that you could consider. Yeah, and Shakila confirms. Yeah, it's a good beginner fantasy. It's a good way to start off. The world building is minimal. It actually reminded me a lot of The Secret Garden. So if you read that classic and you loved it, this Poison Heart is kind of like that. And especially if you're a plant lover, you're gonna love this one. I actually have a friend, Kat, on Bookstagram, and she's big on plants, and that's a major hobby for her. And I instantly thought of her and I put her onto the book, and she wrote back to me and she was like, she loved it, and she loved the introduction of the plants. There are a lot of there's introduction to a lot of poisonous plants, and it's just really good. It's a good YA novel and a good beginner's fantasy.
I may have to add it to my list.
I think you could, yeah.
It's too long.
Girl, nothing is wrong with adding it to the list.
It's too long.
That's what I tell Jasmine. I mean,
Poison. Now I gotta have this Poison Heart.
Christy's gonna add it to her list.
Yeah, so you can add it to your list, guys.
All I would say, Christine, is like how Shan is recommending it to you. If it has any ridiculous plot twist in there, find her.
It doesn't.
Because she loves to set up people.
It has plot twists in there, but it's plot
Not
twists
like
that you
Evelyn.
will appreciate. Listen to me. I've never really led you guys astray.
Listen, you remember how I messaged you after I finished Evelyn? And I was like, I'm going to fight you when I see you.
Lead anybody astray? Tanya, did I lead you astray?
Fight.
You can always count on your fairy. I'm looking out for you guys and I know what you guys like.
It's fine.
You love that book.
It was one of my favorite reads from last year for sure.
Yeah, man. It's
big up Tanya, yes. Production, thanks you. All right, so Shan, I think we have the cover you like now for Patsy.
Yes.
Incidentally, works really well with the nice girl and her background, you know?
It does. It does.
It does.
It does. And this one, Sky Day, which was a very controversial one.
All right. So Fire on High. Yeah, I love that cover. Actually, this book, I've been just trying very hard not to buy it because
which one?
Fire on High.
No, you need to buy it. No, you have to buy it.
I'm not buying anything else. So, all right, which cover tricked you out of these 6? We know Patsy. We know a bit about
Patsy. I have not yet read Wahala.
Okay. But based on what everybody is saying, it seems like it's a good read.
It seems like it's a really good read.
The marketing team showed up for Wahala. Showed up. This one, Sky Day, I was trying to get a photo that did justice to the sprayed edges that's on the hardcover. Of this. And it's just, all right, Tanya says it's lit.
Did anybody else oh yeah. Well, don't bother start about Lost Apothecary. Because that was a
that one month, and then I saw it was
for me. But did anybody realize that this one, Sky Day, has butterflies on the front? Did you guys realize that it's moths that are on the cover?
Oh, I did not. I'm looking at it now. I did not.
And if you actually touch, if you actually feel the book, and I'm
that's
I'm
what that
waiting.
picture is. Oh,
Yes, it's the butterfly. So I've been meaning to confirm this with her, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So as soon as her publisher confirms, because she has not been so well, and then she also lives in the UK, so our time difference is making it difficult to confirm when she can be on. But she has expressed her interest, and I'm just waiting on her publisher to confirm. But that's something I just want to confirm with her, because the lit major in me was like, these are moths on the front, and the texture of the book is
I listened to a podcast from Waterstones. They interviewed her about the making of this book and the 10-year journey that
her 10-year journey.
And I mean, they in that podcast they were talking about the artwork specifically and what went into designing the artwork for this and doing the sprayed edges. And I think they even spoke to the designer. And I don't recall that about the texture, but that would be really cool. I like when they put those like Easter eggs. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
I'm hoping that's what it meant, but definitely it's the moths that are on the front.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, especially given the significance of said moth in the story. I know I saw Cleo read. She was going through this book and she was like, boy, I'm struggling. Because she just started.
I told her.
And I'm like, stick with it.
She's not going to like it.
Stick with it. No, she posted today that this story was so beautiful. I'm like,
oh, she loves it. Because Cleo is one of those people who, she and I are always back and forth. I actually pushed her to read Talia Hibbert series because I was like, Cleo.
You mean the Brown Sisters?
Yeah, I'm like, Cleo, you can read light books. Like, it's okay. And a lot of it, no, but you know what? This is just a fact. And I'm not speaking on her behalf. I'm just speaking in general. But as Black people, sometimes we feel like we must read Black authors and we must read about the trauma and we must, like, why? Like, it's okay. You do not have to sit down reading heavy stuff all the time. You also do not have to sound woke. You do not have to speak about patriarchy and misogyny, and you don't have to. You could just decide you want to read romance all the days of your life. And I'm not trying to make it seem like romance is not to be taken seriously. I just used a genre example because Nakeeta is in front of me. You could decide that that you are just not reading trauma and you just want to read fantasy. Like, that's on you. Books are an escape and they are a passion project. And especially with February coming up, I do not
well, we can't tell you from now. It's like I'm the All Romance December and that's coming back again in 2022.
We know.
I have already planned a Kennedy Ryan binge for February. Aside from a buddy read of a book that Jessica recommended, and I'm like, girl, what is this? No, I know there are some genres of romance that I don't dabble in.
Jessica on another level.
And
your romance
I
book.
was like, when we read the summary for the book, I have to just hold my head in my hand and say, what's something already?
Brian's gonna read fantasy all February.
Yeah, you know what? Do it, Bree. Do it,
girl.
Do it.
Fantasy February.
That's right. Do it.
Jackie
but I will say this. I remember in one of our talks late last year, somebody was asking about a romance with that had a Black couple that didn't have any trauma attached to it in the typical way. And so I've been telling you how after Latoya was going on about that Jamaican girl reads about Real by Kennedy Ryan. And so I read it as a buddy read with one of my other friends, and we were shook. You're looking for that nice Black man in that? Yes, that is the book right there, and it's have all heap of, I can't call it spice. Yeah. Nice.
Nakeeta, I have a question. Can you tell me 3 books?
Question for me.
Yes. Can
Should I
you
get
tell
my
me?
new bottle? I have an alcohol bottle. No. Alcohol
Pandemic,
bottle.
pandemic accessories.
Yeah,
Pandemic.
come on. Come
All
on.
right.
If
All
you
right.
don't have one of these walking around at home, nothing not going for you.
All right. I'm happy to see that you guys appreciate the author chats. Yay! And please, guys, suggest. Oh, sorry, I'm so loud. Sometimes. Please, guys, can you suggest authors that you would like to see come on the show, so I can reach out to them and make the connection?
Tanya has 2 suggestions for authors. Denise.
Yes, yes, I actually have Jane Igaro out. Down. Denise Williams. That's from which book again?
Fastest Way to Fall.
Oh, I don't know it. Okay, listen, we can't have so much romance authors. Come now.
What's it, alright, romance? Celeste, alright, romance?
Oh, hey, Tanya, it's when you became Nakeeta Alliance.
Hold on, stop. No, come. We need somebody to come. Come defend me, please.
Thank you. Where are the thrillers? No more romance authors. I'm sorry, guys.
You had who are the romance authors? Which one of them so far?
1 second. Tiffany, her publishing house reached out to me. So she might come on the show, and we cannot talk about months in the middle.
Real fun, Tiffany.
Make her know that. I like thrillers. What are you talking about?
Real funner. I
like thrillers. It's just that I love mystery more. But I grew up as a thriller lover, so I love the push. I love rock, paper, scissors. I can't wait to read His and Hers. I'm gonna read In My Dreams I Hold a Knife next month. I like thrillers, Tan. But I want us to have a thriller author on the thing, because I just want us to have.
I would just like to know who is the romance author that has come on or will be coming on.
I'm going to get Jane Igaro. Would you guys prefer to have Denise Williams over Jane Igaro?
I haven't read. I have her 2 books. I haven't read them yet, so I can't say yet. I will say, but it's really like Wes. Even though Tanya told me that Wes is fair man, so I need to just back off.
In which book?
The Fastest Way to Fall. Tanya kindly made me know say Wes belong to her, so I'm gonna go on. Tanya, who is it? Gabe? Yes, we need to stay with Gabe.
I mean, Gabe.
Tanya, to be fair, my OG book bay is Zaf from Take a Hit, Danny Brown. That is my OG book bay.
And Tanya and Nakeeta are gonna have their own romance chat room in the next room.
I'm sorry, you said you had a question to ask me.
Right, yes, I did, because here we are 10 minutes counting down. I have a question. So which Ash is that?
Hold on, I did Ash and her books with the fire hinge and tinder.
Hey girl, hey. She's here?
Yes!
Ash, yo, you can count on Ash to come in the last. Ash, we were talking about this poison heart, but we won't say anything more. We'll just drop that one, right? But as
we just have to say that series with the dusty people them on Tinder, yeah, you're gonna have to keep doing that, girl.
Ash and Tanya are the
I'm sure you will have no shortage of weirdos to do it about.
No, the 2 of them are controversial. When I see Ash post a reel and then I see Tanya post a reel, it's like I have to make sure that I'm not in my aroma staff in the office. I don't know what they're coming with. Like, I don't know who they're gonna roast. I don't know which book they're gonna, but we are here for them. We are here.
Listen, I had friends who them not into bookstore, but them through them see me post it, them say, no, this funny. I just them 3 I should do. I'm like, yeah. But she might do more because the people been asking.
Yeah, no, we are. Welcome on, Ash. I hope you're keeping warm over there. So my question to Nakeeta, back to the
Yes,
question.
yes. Sorry, we're focused.
So we talk about we're talking about book covers, and we're talking about the fact that many decisions have been made because of covers. Many purchases have been made because of covers. With that said, can you name 3 books that, oh, that's okay, Ash, no problem. We're happy to have you. You missed the 7 days in June Canva, but that's all right, yeah, man. So can you name 3 books that you bought simply because of the cover? And then can you tell me 1 book that you bought because of the cover that you absolutely hated? Not absolutely hated. We don't hate any books.
It wasn't doing what it needed to do.
Books, but we did not fancy, because we love all books.
3 books I bought because of the cover. Wow. Yeah. Well, bought, or can I include books out?
We know Tanya was gonna come with Luster. Tanya, just
I haven't bought
hold it at bay, Tanya. Hold it at bay.
I've seen so many people ratting on it, so I'm like, all right, I'm not buying that.
I read it I took one for the team, and I'm pleased to what is this? I'm pleased to report that the writing, it is without a doubt that the author has excellent writing ability and has a lot of potential. But there was no artistic value in that book.
Yeah, I know you're telling me that the book was hard for you to finish.
When she turned her face and met the man punch her in her face.
I'm sorry, that happened?
Oh yeah, the man that she
was. I need to hear no more. I'm good.
But anyway, 3 books.
3 books I got for the cover. Ooh, all right. Summer Wives. I bought that for the cover. I got, oh my God. All right, the name will come back to me. I had gotten this one Sky Day for the cover too, and I saw the spread edges. I'm a just turn fool.
I think everybody got that book for the cover.
And I haven't read it yet, but I bought it for the cover because first it had so much pink in it. Is Ties That Tether. So that's 3. The one that I bought, there is another book I bought, but well, technically I didn't buy it. It was on my list. Let me tell you why. This one is to more answer the second part of your question.
Okay.
It was on my list and somebody bought it for me. I was gonna buy it. It's called Less, and I've been telling you about that book. And it's not just the book, it won a Pulitzer. So you're like, okay, that's the award stickers are the only stickers I will allow and not gripe about. So the cover was a very attractive cover. And then I saw the Pulitzer, I'm like, oh, and then I saw the summer and I was like, okay. But Jaja, that book, I've been struggling to read that book. I can get through a book. The book is like maybe just under 200 pages. I can get through a book of that size in a night. And I've been reading that book for the past 3.5 weeks.
That was me with Patsy. 3 weeks, Father God, in the name of the Lord, I asked you.
The worst part is, so I got that book. The person who bought me that book, she got one for herself and she said, hey, let's do a buddy read together. And she called me one day. She's like, Nakeeta, the book gets better it really gets better in like that, the 3rd act or whatever you call it, like the end. She's like, it really picked up and I was so emotional. I was like, girl, I can't reach this. So I just picked up because it was a gift. I'm going to finish it because I just feel bad.
Yeah. I mean, I would do the same too. I would try to finish it just because, especially since you guys were like kind of doing a buddy read, like
yeah. But the irony is,
want to finish it.
We ended up doing we ended up doing real together. So even though she knows I haven't finished less, I'm like, girl, I could just start real and
Another book.
a canon. We're like, woo, yes.
With regards to Luster, being a pick from Obama's list, you know, we always have to ensure, and maybe Obama liked it because the writing, but we have to ensure that we're not liking books because they're written by Black authors, and we really need to make sure that we understand that authors are authors, and that's how I see it, and maybe someone will come for me one day, but authors are authors, whether the author is Black, Latinx, Caucasian, like white, Black, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, an author is an author. So if a Black author writes a book and the book is really subpar, then we need to establish that. And, you know, I just want to make a little comment about Bookstagram. So many people are afraid to express their feelings. Well, we know Tanya not afraid, but outside of Tanya, so many people are afraid of expressing dislike for a book because men like Luster, but that man wins in the end. He has like his wife and his matey living in the house with him. It's crazy. It's madness.
Sounds very wild.
He has an open relationship and he's able to enjoy the best of both worlds. Luster is crazy. This girl had no self-value. She's living in this house full of rat and roach. She and her roommate just living in there like all is well. She has slept with, and you know what is interesting? And it's not just because Evelyn Hugo is a white woman. And I mean, I've read other books where sexuality is not determined by social constructs, and I say that meaning a woman has multiple relationships and nobody's in the book making her feel like, oh, she's a hoe, or she's just a woman who is in charge of her life and is making her decisions herself and establishing what and who she wants. But in Luster, like, this girl was represented as just wasting away. There's a scene where she describes her sexual encounters with every man in her office. Like, it wasn't a very uplifting book at all.
Hand up and she looks like she's about to pop.
And it was not that. Hold on, Brie. And it was, for me, the plot was very, very weak. It was like it was meant to be more character driven, and when you have character driven novels, you have to ensure that your characters are relatable and your reader can engage and connect. Yeah, masturbating and the roaches running. Like, Brie, talk, girl.
Right, stop. Brie, go on.
Tanya giving the whole book in the comments. No, I don't know.
I rebuke it.
It was bad. And then I actually read or tried to read Luster because I was trying to do it for a book club. And then when I got to a certain point, I just DNF'd it, honestly. And then what really got to me, yes, because I don't have any problem with the women or women in books like expressing their sexuality, but do it because you want it. Do it because it's something that you enjoy.
Yeah, it just felt like her life. It felt like she was on a train ride of her life, not her. Like, she was just existing in her life, not her life. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Like, she had no control of anything, and
all.
You know, if she was
She
just a
gonna live
badass
with the
bitch, if
man.
she was just a badass bitch and she just has sex down the place and she's like, yo, this is me and this is my life and I'm a go-getter and these niggas giving me my money and I'm taking care of myself and I live in my good apartment and I'm living my life and achieving my goals, it would have been one thing. But the girl is out here living in the roach fest. She barely have money to.
Tanya's
I
dying.
mean, she gonna
Tanya's
live with
killing
the
me in the
man
chat.
and his wife. She gonna live with the man and his wife. Make
Yo,
him give
when
you
she went
apartment.
to the man's
Give
wife's house, when she went to his house, I was like, just throw the whole girl away. Throw the whole girl
And the wife
away.
too.
No, and throw
Because
each character away. None of them were. I could not connect with any of them. I didn't even if she presented the wife like the man told her that it's an open relationship, but it turns out it's not really an open relationship, and the wife finds out and she's heartbroken and she's stressed, and then she forms a relationship with the girl, the Luster girl, I don't even remember her name, and she forms a relationship with her just so that her daughter can have some fun. And then why would you even do that? The whole thing
no,
don't make
but the
sense. Throw the whole book
daughter,
away.
I felt so bad for that little girl. This imaginary little girl that they wrote like that. I felt so bad. And then what really get me is when people liken Luster and Queenie.
Yeah, they need to stop.
I read
Man.
Queenie and it don't sound nothing like what y'all are talking about.
No. Queenie was a bit misguided, but I mean, this girl.
I mean, she eventually got herself together, thank God.
Qualities.
No, this Luster girl. What is her name? What is the Luster girl name?
It doesn't matter.
Gosh,
That's her name. That's
two of them
actually
did
her
not get
name.
beat up by a white man, but one got help.
But one got help. You see what I mean? And that's what matters in this life, you know. It's not what knocks you down, you know. It's how you get back up. And
a word.
And that is what really matters in this life, you know. The most important thing is not what knocks you down, you know. It's how you get back up, how you get on your feet. And the problem that we faced in Luster is that the Luster girl stayed on the ground, flat. And I think she's still there.
Oh dear.
On the ground.
Oh dear.
She has been unable to get up. And you know what? Everything would have been okay if she had one of those buttons that they have in that ad where they say, help, I've fallen and I can't get up. And if she had one of those buttons, she would have been able to get up. And obviously, Queenie had one of those buttons and she got up. And the Luster girl is stuck.
With that said, we have come to the end of another Friday Night Bookish TV.
See you guys on the 4th of February. You got me hooked on that.